And welcome back to our Workday Training for Managers here at Bob's Discount Furniture. This next session, we're going to be reviewing compensation. We'll be going over the compensation worklet, the request compensation change task, and the request one-time payment task. Let's start with reviewing the compensation worklet. Okay, so I'm again signed into Workday as a manager, Clyde Wright. Clyde Wright, as a manager, has access to this compensation worklet right here. This worklet provides Clyde access to reports pertaining to his team's compensation. These reports are located under the View section. Let's take a look at one of the reports, the compensation spreadsheet report. We'll go ahead and select today as the effective date that we want to view the information. And Clyde will go ahead and enter in his own supervisory organization. Remember, Workday security configurations will not allow Clyde to see employee compensation or information for employees outside of his supervisory organization. We'll go ahead and click OK. And from here, we can see that Clyde can review all of his team's compensation information right from this Workday delivered report. He can review and compare compensation amounts and type for his entire team. Now, we're in a testing tenant, so the compensation ranges you may see here are not indicative of Bob's true compensation ranges. As an FYI, you can filter directly on this report by clicking any of the heading markers or, if you prefer, by clicking on this Excel icon in the upper right-hand corner. And that will export this entire spreadsheet out to Excel for you. Now, let's head back to the compensation worklet to find the employee one-time payment history. Again, we're going to be using the View section to pull up a report. We're going to go ahead and click on Bonus and One-Time Payments. If Clyde would like to drill this down to a specific date range, he can, but it's not required. We'll go ahead and just click OK and keep this blank because we want to see the entire bonus and one-time payment history for his team. So we'll go ahead and click OK. Here we see the history of one-time payments for 4 employees that have received them in the past. So right here we can see the reason for the payments, employees' names and employee IDs, their positions, the effective date of when the payment was approved. This completed on date is just going to be the date that it was entered into the system, so that's why these dates look a little bit different. We're in a testing tenant, and this fictitious information was just added recently into the tenant, so that's why that's there. The amount is viewable, and the plan. So we've got 2 Bob's Helping Hands and 2 bailouts. The next part of compensation that we're going to go over is the request compensation change task. It's important to mention that this task is used for standalone compensation changes only. So it's a change where only the employee's compensation is changing. If any other information is changing along with a compensation change, such as a job profile or position change, then the change job task is used. Please refer to the employee changes section of this training for information on change job. The most common standalone compensation changes are merit increases, commonly for the anniversary-based merit increase, draw rate changes, and position reevaluations. Managers as well as HR partners can initiate compensation changes. HR partners, managers, and managers' managers, if applicable, approve the compensation change. Still working as Clyde Wright, we're going to demonstrate a compensation change request for an anniversary-based compensation change. Using, again, the compensation worklet, Clyde can request a compensation change for one of his employees. So right to the left here, we have the request panel. We're going to go ahead and click on compensation change. Our reason, we're going to go and drill down from request compensation change, base pay change. And we're going to scroll down and we're going to select base pay change merit. Here, we're going to select the employee's name. We're going to go with Sally Butler. And the system's going to default to using the next pay period for this, so you're going to want to pay attention. I'm going to uncheck this for now. Sally's anniversary is December 16th, so we're going to go ahead and just enter that date manually, because that's when we want the effective date of this compensation change to take place. We'll hit OK. Our effective date and our reason come up automatically for us based off of what we entered on the previous page. System's going to show us her current total base pay. It's going to show us the guidelines or the range for the review, again, or for the job range for she's in. Again, this pay range may differ depending on your line of business. This is a testing tenant, so we've got this rather large pay range in there right now. It's going to show her grade as hourly. Okay. Right here is where we're going to edit the base pay information for this merit increase. So Sally is receiving a 3% merit increase. I can go right down here to the percent change box. I can type in a 3. And automatically the system will calculate for me the amount per hour. So she's going from $10 to $10.30 an hour. And the amount change is 30 cents. Sally is going to stay an hourly employee, so that will default for us right here. Down at the bottom here, there's a place to enter some free text comments if you have to add any added comments for this compensation change, as well as drop in any applicable files. At this point, the manager is going to go ahead and click submit. And up next will be the HR partner. The HR partner will review this compensation change, and the task will continue to flow through to the appropriate HR management channels for the final review and approval. The final task we will cover under compensation is the one-time payment request. As a manager, you will be able to initiate bailouts and helping hands. HR partners can also initiate these payments. Continuing to work as Clyde, let's demonstrate a manager requesting a bailout for an employee. Again, I'm going to be working from the compensation worklet. This time, we're going to go ahead and select the one-time payment request. First up is the effective date. The effective date is the date that the overall business process is effective. It does not represent the actual payment date or the date that the employee will receive the payment. We will select the intended payment date later. So we'll say that this payment was approved as of today. We'll go ahead and pick one of the employees. And we're going to hit OK. In this summary section right here, we're going to go ahead and select our reason. We've got a one-time payment. Oh, I messed up. Where is it? Okay, so the reason for the bailouts are employee assistance for Bob's bailout. Enter in the total amount requested. So that's right down here to add that one-time payment. Again, our plan is bailout. Here's where we schedule our intended payment date. So we'll go ahead and schedule this for the next pay period. And we'll say the amount approved was $500. Okay, down here, any additional information that you would like to add? Down here is where you can drop files in. We do have bailout forms. The bailout form is scheduled to be updated for the launch of Workday, so you'll want to keep an eye out for that. For now, we'll go ahead and drop in our sample bailout form right here into Workday. The manager will now click Submit, and the request will route to the appropriate HR and manager approval channels. Okay, thank you for joining us for this session on compensation. That concludes our review on the compensation task for managers.